release.
True Opinion Podcast. Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to this episode of the True Opinion Podcast. I'm your host, Adontaus, and I am joined on this episode by my wonderful, intelligent, sexy, amazing husband, Bay. Well, his name is Vaughn, but y'all can't call him Vaughn. I call him, well, I don't even call him that. Yeah, y'all can call him Vaughn. You can't call him Bay. Okay. Hey, Bay. Bay gotta say hey.
Let me stop it. How you doing?
So, I'm well. Thanks for asking. See, he's so considerate. But anyway, Bay has been trying since True Opinion began. He has been trying to crawl all up and like incept this program and like, you know,
That is not true.
You need a male perspective. Yes, it is. Oh, I'm finna get on it with you. I'm doing a True Opinion takeover. I can't wait. I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna talk about.
People have asked me to come on the show and defend good men, not fuck boys. I'm not here to defend fuck niggas.
This is a lie because on this show, I do not make a practice of bashing men, of calling them fuck boys, as maybe I have before. I don't know. But I think, I keep it pretty fair. It's not like this is like a we hate men type of podcast, even though sometimes.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's not. Give me an example. You don't have one because I really always try to be fair. Except, there are just certain instances where, of course, I feel like I'm right. And, let's think like the R. Kelly episode, it was told it's time to get rid of him. The child support episodes, I was very fair. Was I not?
You were fair.
Okay. What else? The episodes about like cheating and marriage and all that stuff, like I don't ever try to lean harder on one sex than the other. So these alleged people asking you to come on the show to defend men, no defense needs to be mounted. I don't bash men.
Well, I guess we'll find out, shall we?
So what you want to talk about? I want to talk about, let's see, since you think I bash men, there is...
I don't think you personally bash men.
See? Well, thank you. Now this is what you should have did when these people told you to come on the show. You should have said, excuse me, my wife doesn't bash men. I don't know why you would ask me to come on the show and defend the stance that she does not take.
But, as I said, I have been asked to come on the show by numerous people and just give another perspective. So that is what we're doing.
Okay. All right. Well,
I am not here to defend fuckboys, though. I am not here to defend those men who fragile egos and fear of powerful black queens bruise those egos and makes them feel inadequate, and they take that anger and frustration out on black women. And
so who are you here to, like, what you here to do then?
I just feel like a lot of things can get lost in translation when you are being quote unquote fair.
Okay. All right.
I think I can just help you make it more clear that this isn't a war against man. It's just facts, or moreover.
This show is called True Opinion. And then you talk about you finna come on here and drop some facts on me. Like, it sounds like you about to mansplain my podcast to me. Like, I'm just
I
coming on
have no
here to
intention on
give you the
mansplaining
real, to
anything.
tell you, like, when you're being fair, you're not actually being.
That's
And
not true.
okay,
I look at it as just you gaining insight from another perspective.
okay, all right. So I think one of the first things we need to do is like set some parameters or like define some types of men and see if we at least come down on the same side of like what's a good guy and what's like a fuck boy, right?
Right.
Okay, so to me, a good guy is someone who uh, is attentive and loving and shows affection. Everybody is into PDA and physical affection, but somehow shows that he loves you and he cares about you, and that absolutely is not only financial or through gifts or whatever. Like, to me, being a good man has more to do with your attitude and your heart, and not so much what you have. Like, you can't just kind of like come to the table with like dick and audacity. Like, you got to have something else behind you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's to me what a good guy is. And so a fuck boy is just kind of like the opposite of all of that. Like, you don't really have no intention of doing anything other than wasting people's time, taking advantage, getting over, and then gaslighting.
That sounds like a fair assessment to
Fair
me.
assessment. Excellent. So now, Tory Lanez, fuck boy. Yes. What?
I wouldn't. I mean, why would you slap that title on someone who, actions hasn't been proven to be true or not? Not saying that any party is lying or being facetious, but I mean, I think before you can speak to a person's character, and especially a situation like this that kind of mirrors something that's close to home for us. I mean, you were told by a multitude of people about your husband when we were first dating. Was you not?
My husband didn't shoot me in the foot. This is not a correct correlation. It's not, because this has me calling this man a fuck boy, has nothing to do with anything anybody may have said about him and Megan being together. Because for real, like, I had no idea, and I'm not a barometer by any meter because I don't pay a whole lot of attention to a whole lot of celebrity moving and shakings. But I didn't know that they were even messing around until he shot my girl in the foot.
We allegedly
He did
shot
it.
her.
Whatever she said he did, he did. He did that shit. He did it. And I think what's happening is that people want to know the story behind it. They want to know the why. To me, the why isn't important. Like, do you think there could have been any legitimate reason for him pulling out a gun and shooting her?
Allegedly shooting someone.
Allegedly.
And I'm not defending Tory Lanez. I want that to be clear.
I know make it plain, because it kind of sounds like you are. Because every time I ask you a direct question, you kind of go like, ah.
I am not defending Tory Lanez by any means necessary. I just, I've been, accused of things, and people have.
But you didn't do it, and he did.
I mean, but
But
you
what?
know that now. I mean,
I knew it then because it didn't happen. But okay, let's look at it from the perspective of like the internet comments instead of trying to come to some sort of agreement about this man's character. So, like,
I will say if he did do that, of course that's terrible. It's, you know, bitch nigga shit. You know? That's what I'm saying. But you know me personally, I just can't get on board the hate train for something. You know, if I don't have all the facts. That's just what it is. It doesn't change my stance on, you know.
That sounds terrible. Because I don't understand. For one, like,
I just cannot.
Why do you need all the facts? Like, really? Like, why do you need to know everything? Why is it not enough?
I don't need to know everything. I just need to know, like, did he shoot? Did he do it or not?
Yes, he did.
But how do you know? Like,
because she said he did. Because she was shot in the foot. She said he shot her. That's it. So you either saying somebody else shot her or she shot herself?
No, that's it. I think.
So you want a court to find that he shot her for you to believe?
No, I'm not saying. This is the thing. I think people get too caught up in, if you don't side one way, then you must believe this. That's not true.
That is true.
That's not, though. I can, as I'm telling you right now, if he shot her, that's some bitch nigga shit.
But you know,
that's some unforgivable shit.
Like, do you?
And
like,
that's the thing. I don't know that though. I don't know that to be true.
You don't know that to be true.
I don't know that to be true.
You don't know that to be true. Come on.
I don't know that to be true. We don't know that to be true.
You don't know that to be true.
Come on, all the stuff. Come on now, all the cases that we
so caught up in what's facts and what you don't know to be true, and we need to wait and see when it is a man abusing
let me tell you, like,
a black woman.
See, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm here right now, because I can see how some viewers can get that at times you can come off as one-dimensional, because I feel like you may view things differently if Tory Lanez was your son.
No.
Yeah.
No.
If Gavin allegedly shot a woman that he's involved with, let's just say it. If Gavin allegedly shot a woman in the foot, and at the time that we hear the news, we don't know if it's true or not, you're not gonna automatically assume, and no mother is. Like, if a mother, especially a black mother, you know, and I don't want to bring color into it, because
now you're making gross, real general.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say this: a mother, period. Okay. A mother, period. Right? If she heard news that her son allegedly, come on now, we know monsters. We know of monsters, and we personally know monsters. You know how mothers get, no matter white, black, they sons have done horrid things, and a mother will go beyond to cover that shit up. So I just want you to understand, like, tell me, if Tory Lanez was your son, would you be all aboard the hate train? Or would you be sounding more like how I'm sounding, like, you know, I need to know everything that happened, son.
Let me tell you.
I need to know everything that happened. Come on.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. If Tory Lanez was my son, then one, I would definitively know that he did that shit, because I raised that nigga and I know what he's capable of. And I'd be like, he fucking shot this girl. Now, I would never And even if this was regular us and God forbid it was Gavin or something, I would never go on the internet, go on any type of news program or nothing. I wouldn't do that because I know what really happened. Now, now that you're right, that's still my son. Like I'm not going to try to malign the victim. And I'm not going to be on the internet acting like my baby didn't do. I'm going to stay quiet. I'm going to tell him to stay quiet. We going to get a lawyer and we going to use every trick, avenue, everything at our disposal to make sure he comes out of this with as little damage as possible. But and that is our public front. Like that's what we're doing. Privately, I'm gonna be like, you fucking stupid motherfucker, you better hope you make it out of this shit. Like whatever the consequences are, like we gonna fight, but whatever the consequences are, you gotta take them because you did that shit. You know you did that shit.
Of course.
I mean, that's how I would be if Tory Lanez were my son. I would be extremely disappointed. I would probably cuss him out, like I would still like in private have his back. In public, I'm sorry, I'm not making no statements in support of you because what the fuck you did was wrong. And now we got to deal with the legal ramifications of it. So that's why like I don't understand like all this, people, men, it seems, and some women too, which I'm so disappointed about. I swear it's like some of y'all bitches hate your own vagina. But it's just like it meant y'all don't even know this nigga. You don't have no claims to his money, no nothing, and just wholeheartedly defending him. And it really makes me feel like y'all are abusers too. And it's been times where you have lost your temper, put your hands on somebody, treated somebody in a way that you absolutely should not have. But, you wanted the opportunity to explain yourself, or you wanted to say why it wasn't so bad, or you wanted to say, well, it wasn't just your fault. She did A, B, C, and D. Like you want some grace for what you did. So you extending that to Tory Lanez because you sympathize with the nigga. Like, yeah, shit, I fucking choked the bitch up before. I put a bitch through a wall. Like, hey, like shit happens or whatever. Like we can't crucify that man just for that. And it's just like, you absolutely can. And maybe you should actually get up on the cross next to him because you sound quite terrible as well.
I mean, but
and then I will say to you, what if Meg was your daughter? What if Meg was your daughter? And I can
honestly say that, you see, and that's the thing, see, I'm not choosing a side in it. And I can actively, unlike most people, I can actively let you know without a shadow of a doubt, if Meg was my daughter, Tory Lanez would be dead right now, Like he'd be dead. I didn't, it's weird, right? Like,
yeah, because you care about the women that you care about. You don't care about no other women.
No, it's not like that. I'm just...
Those women are somebody else's responsibility. It ain't not mine.
I'm just being honest. Like, is it... I'm just being honest. I mean, I'm flawed. I'm human. But I'm being honest. Like, yeah, because it... And I'm sure a lot of you can relate if you be honest with yourself. Like, if it was my daughter... I'm not interested to find out. Hopefully, one, I raised a woman, a young lady who wouldn't even, even lie or about something like that, right? But with that logic, I wouldn't attempt to find out whether or not it's true or not. Because once I heard it, I mean, we got to call the banners, If I probably would end up talking to her after the fact, but before anything, we got to catch him before he leave the country. We got to call Raymond Reddington and, and when he hopped on that PJ and he thought he was going to be on his way to Canada, he was going to be sitting in the chairs, dicks out, glicks out,
I don't know what that reference means.
Oh, You know. You know what it means.
I don't know what they.
We
I
was
don't know
gonna
what
have
that
his
means.
little ass. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what that reference means. They'll stop.
Dicks out, glicks out. You
That's
feel
enough.
me?
That's enough.
Hashtag dicks out, glicks out. After you listen to this episode, if you're listening to this episode right now, hashtag dicks out, glicks out. Tag it at True Opinion Show on Twitter.
I'm not gonna check the True Opinion Twitter page. just hashtag it. Please don't attach pictures. We don't want to see that. But I mean, yeah. So I guess it's like, I know you would feel like that if she were your daughter. I just wish that as just a person, you could just see like how instant. No, that's not what I want to say. I just wish that you could instantly feel for her and be on her side without like all this like, oh no, I need to see what the evidence says.
But let me also let you know something.
What?
Because it is domestic like that, you know, like the way
I know
when it
a
comes
lot
to
of stuff happens, like domestic stuff. That's why I always say one of the most dangerous situations is a domestic situation, because
now
like
if they wasn't involved, if they wasn't romantically involved, maybe I could.
Worse, though.
No, that's the thing. You guys, you know, domestic stuff. You can never know what really went on. You can never know. You can never know. Like you could never know the ins and outs.
You know, she got shot. You know that, and to me, it's just like y'all.
But that's the thing, though. She got shot. So I mean, that's fact, right?
Yeah,
she got shot. There's a bullet wound in her foot.
Yeah,
but is it fact that her now ex or a former boo intentionally shot her?
No.
So to me, this is just me personally. I can't just go off facts without facts, you know?
No, because you have common sense. That's it.
But look, we just got through watching Sherlock.
Okay. And that is TV magic.
But I'm just saying though, you know situations can. Come on now.
What?
Come on now.
Listen, yes, of course, we know situations can escalate, but what we know is that something happened.
You drunk, you intoxicated.
We don't know any of that, so you can't start.
I'm not saying she's details. I'm saying they are drunk, right?
No, you can't say that, because all we have established that the only fact that we have is that she was shot, and if I am willing to stipulate that we don't 100% factually know that he shot her, then you can't start setting up all these scenarios with, drunk, horny, jealous, angry, mad, grab the gun. Now we getting into the realm of just speculation. So like we can say like, yeah, I speculate that he shot her, and your conclusion is we don't know who. But I say when you mix a little common sense in there, usually like the most probable or like the easiest explanation is usually just what happened. Like a lot of shit, like life ain't really like movies. Like it's kind of like niggas on the internet, like you even trying to make it seem like, yeah, like it was this situation where tempers flared and they were drunk, and you know, she said something, then he said something, and you know, she's so big and he's so tiny. Like this nigga knew you wanted to climb a tree. Like why is it like she's some sort of monster because she's bigger than him all of a sudden? But it's just like, you know, then maybe, you know, she grabbed the gun, or maybe she was talking so crazy so he was scared. Now he a white cop, he was scared, so he grabbed the gun, and you know, and they started tussling over. You know how women get she grabbed the gun and they started tussling over, and it's just like You can't inject all of that. You can't inject all of that. If we will just leave it at, as far as the situation goes, all we know for a fact is that she got shot. And we can leave it there. Now I'll say common sense will tell me that he probably shot her. That's the simplest, easiest explanation. Is probably what happened. All that other situational stuff don't matter as much if you still get down to the fact that the girl got shot. That's what I feel. And I just I just feel like the misogyny that jumped out and like behind that situation or whatever. And guys say, "Oh, this would happen when you want to be a hot girl. This will happen when you want to shake your ass and twerk." And it's just like none of those things, hot girlery, twerking, accepting your body and your sexuality and flaunting that, like none of that should result in you being shot. Like none of it. So I just hate that the correlation like y'all men make between that. And also that y'all are like, when it comes with this, you need all the facts, you need investigation, you need the FBI in here, you need everything laid out. But you are so quick to believe anything these rappers say about a woman. Anything. All you need. All you need is for Future to raise an eyebrow at a bitch, and y'all like, you knew she was a hoe. Like what?
But you see stuff like that. Stuff like that is different though. Now
it's not different because
changing correlation. I mean,
it's not different. If a woman
chooses to intentionally get involved with a man who, we're not talking allegedly. Like I'll give you an example using the current subjects that we are discussing. If the trial's coming up and everything, if Tory Lanez in fact shot her, right? Mm-hmm. And we know it is now known, like Game of Thrones, it is now known that he shoots women, that he's a woman abuser. It's fact. It's not alleged anymore. It's confirmed. Yeah, any woman that after that fact has been confirmed that chooses to get involved with Tory Lanez will probably be villainized, right? Because you're choosing to get involved with someone that is confirmed to inflict harm to women, right?
But let me tell you how it will go. When they first got together, when Tory Lanez and this new woman get together, first niggas gonna be like, yeah, she a real one, cause it don't matter what he did in the past. You gotta accept niggas
for who they are, what they are.
And it will be those men. And y'all just jealous. Y'all just haters. They goals. They starting over. He gonna treat her like a queen. She love it. She love it. That's how it's gonna be. Then, God forbid, however much time down the line, she didn't call the police and she all beat up. Not even shot. She all beat up. She didn't call the police. She wanted to leave him. They got a baby. She taking the baby. She want $2 million a month in child support. Same niggas gonna be like, man, she knew what the fuck it was. He shot the last bitch and she got off easy. And she just did this. She just got with that man so he could beat her ass and she could have a baby and get the money. And it's just like, what? Like y'all the same people. You're the same people. How could you?
I mean,
it's not about any of what you're saying. It's just that you want men to be able to abuse and continue to go on with life. Like, it's just okay. Like, in the beginning, like, yeah, he deserved new love. And then when he flipped out on the next one, it was just like, hey, you knew what it was. Like, y'all just want him to be able to just abuse and move on. And it seems like it's because men want to be able to abuse and move on. I will never defend a woman being an abuser, being terrible, I would never defend that type of behavior in a woman because that's not being a good person.
You're right, though. That's why I'm not defending him. Like I'm telling you,
But speak about your brethren that you were sent here to defend because I'm so mean to them.
No.
Speak about those young men.
We're talking about just making sure that the lines aren't blurred between fuck boys and real men. You know? That's all. That's all. You can't.
Future, fuck boy, real man.
What do you mean?
Fuck boy, good guy.
I can't speak on.
No, you can't speak on nobody. I can't
speak on that man. I don't personally know that man.
Okay, the Migos man that was
the Migos man.
Migo man number 1. That's Barry Cardi. What'd you think?
I mean, I think that Offset is a celebrity. I think that he's human, you know? Things happen, you know?
Okay, Migo man number 3 that took the Bentley back from Sweetie.
I mean, what's wrong with taking a Bentley back?
What about his cheating and then him trying to go on the internet like she did something wrong? What about that?
I think this is the thing. I'm not here as like a public defender for fuck niggas and fuck nigga antics.
I don't know what you're here for. I'm asking you.
I'm not here.
Who is a good guy? Who is a not good guy?
I mean, but you're naming people with like very.
I'll give you an easy one.
Very public discretions.
Russell Wilson. Is that his name? Yeah, Russell Wilson.
I mean, on the surface, seems like a great guy.
You are more ready to demean a quote unquote great guy because you're talking about on the surface.
That's not true.
Seems like a great guy.
That's not
now,
true.
Future, who we know is King. King. He is the fuck nigga king. We know it. But you just
Russell Wilson.
You're like, I don't know him.
Let me tell you something.
I don't know that man.
Russell Wilson he seems like an excellent person.
Okay.
Great father and great husband.
What does Future seem like?
I mean, Future seems like I don't want to sound like Donald Trump, but all of these men are great people.
Get off this podcast, sir. You are
all of these men are great people that probably just made mistakes, you know? They probably just made mistakes.
I'm gonna tell you what I think about men.
Let me give you a quote from Wreck-It Ralph, one of my favorite all-time movies, right?
Okay.
Just because I am bad guy doesn't mean that I am bad guy. You know?
Until they act like bad guys in public. For real. You play the bad guy on TV and you the bad guy in real life.
I mean, like I told you.
You know what? I feel like.
But I also stand on my previous statement that if any of these men had crossed paths with my daughters, my opinion and outlook would be dramatically different.
I'm sure. And that's real. That's legit.
And that's just natural. Me being real.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because even though sitting here, you can't say like, hey, you know, I don't know that man. I just have no idea. But if a man like him cross paths with my daughter, like he wouldn't cross paths with nobody else's daughter.
Basically.
Or nobody else, period. But I'm not making any judgments on what type of person he is.
No judgments. But, you know.
This is what I would just like for men to just do better. Like, I would like for y'all to support Black women, all Black women, and like really start with the ones like right in your life, the ones that you are taking advantage of or taking for granted, the ones that you are abusing, the ones that you keep, you know, running in and out of their lives, like whoever it may be. your mama, your girlfriend, your wife, your sister, your kids, like any black woman that you have a close relationship with, like I just want you to make sure you are being the best for them. And that also means being a good example for them. Like if you are a dad, like the way you treat women is really important. You should let your daughters see you treating women with respect so that hopefully when they grow up and seek out relationships, they want a relationship with a man who, behave like their dad. And hopefully you've been out here behaving yourself and not being an asshole. And like I just want black men to just like it's support, but it's like a stronger sort of support. Like I want y'all to support women like a really great bra for a set of double D titties. Like just really just like hold them up and hold them down. You know what I'm saying? Like the best support and unwavering. And but I think unfortunately, like some parts of our own culture, I think are just gonna stop us from getting there. When you make so much money and get famous off of treating women a certain way, talking about them a certain way, objectifying women. And now the era that we're in with the internet where you gotta present some kind of persona to get like the fans involved on your side. You gotta be in certain kind of scandals, you gotta act a certain type of way. And yeah, we all know celebrities shouldn't be role models, but at the same time, we know a lot of people are like um searching for identity and somebody to emulate, like even as fucked up as it sounds, even grown men, so
That's
they model
true.
their behavior sometimes off of bad influences. So I just, I wish it's just all around like black men could just do better by black women. So I don't hate y'all. I just really want for y'all to do better. So when I see you out there acting like little bad children, I just want to spank you all. You just terrible. You know?
Yeah,
So
that's
is that
true.
fair? Is that a fair assessment?
That is a fair assessment, but I think you also want to include that a lot of black men did not have a father. They did not see what it was like, or they did not have that example.
Hmm.
You know, they did not have that example of how to exactly, be a man.
Hmm.
I mean, lacking character and getting rich can create a monster. You know,
Hmm.
getting rich in general, we know can create monsters, but I think a lot of a lot of people overlook the brokenness of the black family and its long term and generational effect that it has. You know, and you know, some women also hold blame for a lot of these men. Just being honest, you got a lot of women out here with that my son is my king mentality. And I've told you before, we've spoken about this on numerous occasions. Like, you don't know that fuck nigga, that fuck boy that you cross paths with, the only reason he is the type of person he is, arrogant, selfish, never taking accountability, always wants something for nothing, can't respect you, can't be a man, is because that a lot of women don't know that is the direct effect of the my son is my king mentality.
See, but why? Like, even in your agreeing with me, like, yeah, men, but then you come right back with the but they didn't have dads, and then you round the car around the corner and come back to is women's fault.
No.
And it's like
Don't
you always.
misinterpret me. I'm
I'm
not
not
saying it's
misinterpreting you. That's what
women's
you
fault. I'm
said.
just
You
saying
said a lot of women. You specifically talking about
a
black
lot of no.
mothers.
I'm not just no. Hold on now. When we know Becky done protected her son on the football team, and he damn sure raped that damn cheerleader. And we know Becky and Karen and held it down and lied on the stand the whole motherfucking night to protect her king, right? We know. So it's
We
not
know
just, I
that,
don't
but
want you to think that it's a black
but I
mother
feel
thing.
like
It's a
we
mother thing,
specifically talking
period.
about black people though.
I just,
Because when I
I
was talking,
want,
I
that's
said
the thing.
what I want for black men, and then you started talking about and women, and then women create these fuck boys, and I just see. I want you to put more onus on the men that left. You saying that the black family is broken and men didn't have fathers and they didn't have examples. Like I want you to put more responsibility on them to either go seek some help, some treatment, some therapy, some positive examples or role models or something before they start creating these families everywhere and then leaving them. And then these young children and these boys are raised by mothers, and then you step in right then and says the blame is on the mother because you tried to treat your son with. Now, you know, we can debate the effects of this, but I think that there is more malicious intent, or there's it's worse to leave your family than to stay and to be there and just try to do your best. And then doing your best, you think, I need to give this child everything. I need to love on this child. I need to protect this child because you see what it's like when black men don't have that, as evidenced by this man that started this family with you and then walked out. So in essence, trying to reverse what happened and trying to make this man into a better man than his father. And you may inadvertently
Create a fuck nigga.
help one develop. But also,
and 90%
there
of fuck niggas, I just want to let you know,
there's some responsibility. In all of what you saying, the responsibility is taken away from the men and it is placed on the women.
No, that's
That's
I
what you're
don't want
saying.
I don't want you to, but I don't want you to think that's what I'm doing. I'm just simply saying that there
do
is,
men have to not be
they
terrible
have
people?
most of it. Most of that responsibility is on the man. I'm not saying that's, don't misunderstand me. I'm not removing that blame. I'm just also increasing awareness that in an effort to kind of cope with, a father walking out of a family, some mothers have a tendency to over
Trying to overcompensate.
yeah, and the result
Can
is a
sometimes.
son that in some cases grows up to be a man that have, or rather share, a lot of tendencies and characteristics with that of a fuck nigga.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that it was intentional. I'm just saying I want to increase the awareness because some people might not know. We've had conversations, and you've even had conversations with people where they have actively admitted to you, that, you know, it's on me, you know?
And this is why I can't talk to you.
What do you
Because
mean?
for one, you don't talk about a conversation I told you about what I had with somebody else on the podcast. And then two,
Well,
you
we're
don't
gonna have to,
take one conversation that I say I had
but
with
that's not
somebody
taking one
and generalize
conversation.
it across a bunch of
I'm not
people.
generalizing. I'm just using
Okay.
it to.
But
I'm
I would
using it
say
to root my root my
your
point.
argument. Yeah. And I'm saying, if you want me to be open-minded about that type of parenting by a mother creates a fuck nigga, like why can't you I would just, like I said, like to see you put more responsibility on the men, because you have said that a woman can't raise a man. So then you blame the woman for how the man turns out, but she didn't make this son alone. She didn't create this son. There's a man that walked away. So where's the responsibility? Where should it really be? To me, especially leaving your sons unguided in this world that you know firsthand can be so harsh, like all that fault falls on dad. And mom is just trying to do the best she can. And you made him a fuck nigga. And it's just like, okay, well,
you are correct.
What was I supposed to do?
And you are correct in that. I don't want you to think that, single mothers, I'm attacking them,
That's what it sounds like. So you need to clean it up.
I mean, that's not my intention. I'm just simply saying that there are all types of parents. There are some mothers that, whether inadvertently and some maybe a even more smaller percentage, purposely created fuck niggas. Maybe with the same shared mentality, I just don't understand why you keep saying it. What? Like, why you have to keep saying like mothers create fuck niggas? Like, why you I'm
keep
not
saying
that's the thing. You're hearing what you want to hear.
I'm hearing what you're saying, and you just like keep saying it. Like, I just want to say that when women do that this is what it creates. Like, I just want to say it. I just want to say it. I just want to say it. Okay, you said it. It's said.
Okay. I'm not attacking single mothers.
And it's wrong. But you
said and that's the thing. Another thing, it may very well be flawed thinking. You may be correct, but I mean, I'm telling you, some portion, some percentage,
and I'm say it again.
We're gonna move on from it.
I just feel like you have come to this podcast program and just collectively had every black man in America open his mouth and insert his foot. Like, hey guys, we're gonna collectively eat our feet.
That's not my intention.
So, because it's like, you hear like, I think I want to tell you are here defending fuckboys.
I'm not here to defend fuckboys.
You are. You have defended them.
Do you think I defended them?
Yes.
I haven't definitively chosen a side.
Right. And you're not even being fair, though.
What do you mean?
Because, like, I will not choose a side, or I come down in the middle, but I'm pretty fair. Like, you were just kind of like, I don't know anything about these gentlemen, so I'm not going to say anything. But listen, we know how domestic goes, and we know this. Like, you just, when it comes to talking about the actions and motives of women or partners in situations, you are just, you're not even straddling the line. Like, you're doing some weird kind of funky Y2C on the line or something. It's like you like... Like, I don't even know. It's just, it still comes across as defending the man, and we ain't got it for the ladies. That's kind of like, that's what you sound like. That's just what you sound like. Like, okay, so the statement, people only treat you the way you allow them to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel about that statement? In the realm of romantic relationships between black men and black women, how do you feel about that statement?
I would agree with that statement.
See? Terrible person.
What? What do you mean? I mean,
Because I feel
that's true
like
though.
to me, that's like an abuser statement.
You think
Or like
so?
somebody who like is smarmy or takes advantage of people. Seeing like people only
But see,
treat you
this
the way
is,
you let them. And it's just like, but if I
you know what I
am
noticed with you?
what?
Like with you, when you like believe in A, it equals this. But you know that things are much more complex than that. You know? Like I agree with that statement. People treat you how you allow them to treat you. I'm not saying manipulative man who, well, I know the bitch ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna do A, B, and C. I'm not saying that they aren't bad people. They are. You know, one fact does not excuse another. You know, it can be a terrible ass nigga in a relationship. But I mean, the fact is he is terrible. But that don't change the fact that that woman is accepting that, settling for that. You know, things are more complex than just, well, A eliminates B. You know, life isn't an addition and subtraction. It's more algebra. You know, it's more variables. If that makes any sense. You know,
I think
this doesn't mean though that I'm placing blame on the woman. This doesn't mean that. I can I can look at the situation and that guy is terrible. That's a fuck boy. That's a sorry excuse for a man. That's fact. But I can also voice frustration for the woman. Why don't you know that you deserve better? Or why don't you
again,
feel that you deserve better?
why is the person being abused or treated badly? Like, why is it more responsibility being
It's
put
not.
on
That's the
them?
thing.
Like,
Where you keep,
why
and you
don't
did this.
you
You
know
look.
that you deserve
No,
better?
no,
Why
no.
you
You did this with my
letting
last point too.
like
You
why
making
you
like the
letting
latter seem like you making the latter seem like I'm I'm chucking the
I
majority
just
of
want you to be
responsibility on that.
supportive of victims and put the
I am support.
blame
Trust
on the
me.
abusers. Like, okay, you remember that little 2 day whatever
And
with that Derek Jackson
I think
nigga. You
it's
remember that?
also important to let our audience know that this isn't just a man and woman thing. There are situations. There are people we know personally, and there are situations where women are abusing men, and these men are still in
Here
these
you
relationships.
go
And
with
I'm gonna tell
this
you like this. Listen
men's
to me.
rights ass shit.
No, listen to me. And I would say the same thing. Yes, that woman manipulating you and abusing you that's a terrible woman. Type of woman that your mom warned you about to stay away from. But at the same time, I would ask that man, why don't you love yourself more? Why don't you know that you deserve more? That's the thing that I don't want this to get lost in translation. The thing that makes my points so solid is that they're interchangeable. It doesn't matter if it's woman or man. My point still stands. It's not a guy girl thing, male female thing, man and woman thing. My point will still stand. If you are in a relationship, you are a man. You are being abused by a woman. You physically abuse me daily. You know, I ask myself
You're
sometimes,
a liar.
why don't I love myself? you know, you
You're
know,
a
my
liar.
point
You
never
ask yourself, why
changes.
don't you love yourself enough to stop being crazy?
My point is that I'm not blaming the victim because the victim is a woman. I'm not blaming the victim at all. I
You
just
just you blaming the victim because the victim is a victim.
maybe so.
No, see, like to me, that statement, people only treat you like you allow them to treat you, that takes away the responsibility of the person that's being terrible and saying, well, you let me do it. So I kept
But
doing
no,
it. And
but
it's
you
like,
are
where
terrible
is
though.
you are terrible.
You are terrible.
You are absolutely terrible. And I think people need to take responsibility for their own actions. Like you you need to be responsible for the type of person that you are. It shouldn't depend on what somebody lets you do. That's like saying, because I trust you, then I let you cheat because I trusted you enough to not check behind you. So I let you do it. And it's like, no, I trusted you because you give trust in a relationship. I don't, think that you would do anything like that. And I don't go checking behind you because I trust you. I'm not giving you permission to abuse my trust. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that goes, like you were saying, both ways for a man and a woman. It could be a man who is in a relationship that's not good for him. And it's not that, why you keep letting this girl do this to you. It's like, no, why does this woman keep doing this? Like, why aren't you a responsible enough person to not treat somebody that, if you're in a dating relationship that you may claim to love, or you have some sort of commitment or even mutual respect for, like, why would you treat them terrible? That's why, like, I kind of don't even understand that statement, because it really only comes up when people are being treated wrong, and it's just like, but you, the person in the wrong, like, why would you even do these things and say, well, I cheated, and you let me keep coming back, so I kept cheating. It's like, well, yo, do you love me or not? Because if I thought that I was being um loving and caring and forgiving and really trying to work on our relationship when I forgave you the first time, what type of psycho are you that you took this as, oh, well, this is what we can do and she'll forgive me every time? You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
but
that's terrible.
Those are terrible people though.
Those are terrible people. And the people on the receiving end don't, to me, you should protect yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like where you say, things aren't always black and white, there's shades of gray, it's other factors. And it's like, yes, I think you don't take into account though when people use those statements about, like, you know, uh people don't even treat you whatever or whatever I said. It's like, you don't understand though that an abuser, especially an experienced one, is not doing things unintentionally. They have already started, knocking this person's self-esteem down. They may have already started isolating them from their family. They may have already started making them financially dependent on them, you know, uh, controlling birth control, whether or not they can or can't have kids. Like, keep, some men purposely keep getting women pregnant because it's like, if you got all these kids, how you gonna leave me? You know what I'm saying? And it's just as crazy as it sounds. I know, because you like, I don't know all these kids we got, but it's like people do crazy shit like that. So when you say it's different components, like, yeah, understand though that this person in this relationship has been abused and conditioned to take this type of treatment. And so then when you make those type of statements, like, on top of them going through whatever they've gone through with this person. Now you have other people saying, well, you let them do it. And it's like, well, shit, I feel like I kind of don't even know. Like, I feel like I have no choice. Like, where am I going to go? Or what am I going to do? Or who's going to want me? You know, like those are powerful motivators for people, even for making them stay in terrible relationships. So it's just, you know, like when we are debating these things about like relationship issues or stuff that happens to other people, like I just want you to take into account like terrible people usually aren't just terrible in a vacuum. They're not terrible in one area. They are like monstrous people that do, you know, all types of diabolical shit to people. Mm-hmm. And what we may just see as, you know, trading some internet comments or calling somebody out their name or gaslighting somebody, like there could have been a whole like iceberg under the surface of shit going on that we knew nothing about. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, like with Migo 3 taking the car back from the girl. And it's not so much that you took the car back because it's like, nigga, you ain't owning no way. It's probably leasing it here. Take it back to the people, you know? Like when the lease was up, he was probably gonna discreetly take it anyway and take it back and then act like he just bought her a new car, you know? So it's
he owned
not
it though.
Did you see the title?
He owned it.
Is that a fact?
That's a fact.
How is that a fact? What proofs do you have?
Because it's for sale right now by a very reputable sales company, and they want like 200 some K for it. So I'm pretty sure that he bought it outright if he's trying to resell it and make some money back.
Why did he have to be the owner of it? He didn't have to buy it.
He bought it.
How do you know he bought it?
Because he then gave it to the company to resell it. Because you can look at it and put a bid on it. What do you mean?
All I'm saying is that a car was bought. And now the car is being resold.
Yes.
Until we see, like I could have bought a car.
But if that's what I'm saying. If you leased it, it wouldn't be resold. You know,
but okay, even
and
then
another thing,
saying like he bought it, maybe he didn't buy it. Maybe the record company bought it. Maybe Migo 2 bought it for him. Maybe we don't know if he bought it.
Is the point? Is this relevant?
See, but you want me to use
relevant to your point?
But you want me to use common sense to say that he bought it, just like I want you to use common sense to say that Tory Lanez shot Mitt.
No, I mean this is the thing. When you customize anything, you know it's custom.
Okay.
It got the icy girl written on this. When you customize any of that stuff, you can't lease that stuff. That stuff has to be paid up front.
Okay.
You know?
All I'm saying is that how do we know he is the one that paid for it?
You're right. We don't know if he paid for it. I mean,
but I mean, he could still be going through a finance company and they could be reselling it through an auction house or some online seller trying to recoup some money.
You're right. You are right. You are correct.
But now you made me lose my entire train of thought.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so he took the car. He said some stuff like, "You're not the woman I thought you were." After that is like, sir, you were cheating. Who knows what he was saying to her in this relationship? For you to say something like that in public, for you to so publicly say, you know, you took the car back, like that is about you being upset, humiliated, and wanting to still exert some control over somebody who basically told you, nigga, beat it. I don't need you. And that is, to me, like, that's like pathological behavior. So I'm just saying, you know, as you always say, know that is in another domestics, symptom. We don't know what happens. And I'm just saying, you know, resting on your argument, like, there could have been a plethora of things going on behind the scenes where he was being aggressive, abusive, maybe with her. So I would just like to bring awareness, to take your words, to, like, while you are thinking about situations, commenting on them online, or talking about definitively who's right and who's wrong. And when niggas always want to argue semantics and say what we don't know, like, that shit goes both ways then. Like, you don't know what type of person he was. You don't know. And maybe she just got tired of it. And then, to me, the fact that even there was an attempt to let the breakup be discreet and kind of drama free, and he fucking blew it up, and then his family jumps in. Like, to me, it says, like, y'all the crazy people.
I mean, you got a point.
Like that man, like I was saying, Derek Jackson with his wife, who we watched that video where he was aggressively holding her hand real tight, remember? And he was like, I've told my wife everything. I've cheated on her. I've done everything with women, from dinners to kissing to full out sex. And I've told her, and that was just
But again,
so
disgusting. we
disgusting.
not defending,
we're not defending him. We're not defending
bad people. Bad people are bad people.
Yeah, but what I'm saying with that is, again, it's not that she lets him treat her that way. One, he is a manipulator, and clearly he uses her strong faith and her strong belief in marriage and what a wife's duties are, and how, what God says about family, and, about a husband and a wife, whatever. He has used that to do whatever the fuck he wants and make sure he still has his wife around. Like, he's a manipulator. And it's not that she's just letting herself be manipulated. Like, she has strong convictions.
There are
People
more
take
variables.
Advantage. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying, so it's not so easy just to be like, people treat you the way you let them treat you. It's like, no, people are insidious. They are manipulative. They learn you. They learn they learn what makes you tick. They learn what you want. There are some people, like, we know they are so desperate for love, attention, affection, family, that they'll accept almost anything. And people that seek to take advantage of people like that can almost sniff them out,
Mm-hmm.
Like, they know when they got somebody, as we've said before.
Blood in the water.
Right. So it's like, I think we just need to give more grace to victims. And just like, people who take advantage of and abuse people are terrible people, and we should just point out they're terrible people, full stop. Not like they're terrible, but, well, she shouldn't have let him, or he shouldn't have let her. It's just like, they are terrible people, full stop. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And that's going into being mentally crazy and stuff. That's all going into a stand culture. That's, I think, the main, that's, but we'll save our analysis of stand culture for another episode.
Yeah. I guess. You know who I hate the most, though.
In conclusion,
you know who it is. He is the new he who shall not be named on this podcast, but you know who I hate the most.
In conclusion.
So, I mean, I guess, let's see, what kind of conclusions can we draw? What have we come to? That I don't hate men. I just want y'all to do better. You don't defend fuckboys, but you want facts, which is still problematic to me. I'm not endorsing that. I mean, I think sometimes you just let your imagination run away in the right direction, though. And you should just not be a terrible person and try to treat people right. And if you are a terrible person, just find somebody else that's terrible and y'all ruin each other's lives. How about that? That'll be fun. Date your arch nemesis. See
Exactly.
how that turns out. Leave normal people alone. All right. I think that's good. That's it. Anything else you want to say before we go?
Nope. I think we had a interesting conversation.
We did.
A lot more to come on this season of True Opinion.
I know. Maybe I'll let them come back. I'm gonna have to screen the episodes first, edit them. And normally, True Opinion is not edited. It's just off the cuff. We say whatever
we
we
gotta
say.
edit it.
I say whatever I say, but he can't say whatever he say. Because sometimes I think you talked about bending somebody over.
That's
earlier.
fine.
I don't know. We're not gonna leave that.
I guess
we're not gonna leave that in. But this was fun. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us on this episode of True Opinion. Make sure you subscribe so you can know when the episodes come out. Because we don't even know when the episodes come out, but they coming. They coming and they comes. So make sure you subscribe. Follow us on socials, Twitter and Instagram. And that's it. All right, y'all. We're gonna go have